The upcoming Legislative Council election day is set to take place on the 7th of next month. The Electoral Affairs Commission will roll out several arrangements to facilitate voting. These include extending the period for voting and setting up polling stations for on-duty civil servants and health staff. Timothy Lee tells us more.
There will be 615 standard polling stations across the city for December 7th's LegCo election day. The Electoral Affairs Commission hopes to increase voters' convenience by extending the voting period to 16 hours, from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Electoral Affairs Commission Chairman David Locke said the extension aims to facilitate those traveling to the mainland who only return to the city after dinner time. The commission will also set up 3 types of designated polling stations. They consist of 10 stations designated for civil servants, which will grant disciplined services and on-duty civil servants easier access to the polling stations. Public healthcare personnel can cast their votes near 7 designated hospitals, while specialized polling stations for ethnic minorities will be set up near the Kowloon Mosque and the Khalsa Diwan Sikh Temple in Wan Chai. Polling stations will also be available at 11 care homes for the elderly and 4 facilities for the disabled. An estimated 3,000 people will benefit from this measure. Meanwhile, Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Eric Zhang said the government did not come up with a voter turnout target, given that such a figure can be affected by various factors. Regarding polling stations located near the border, in addition to Shengshui, stations will also be set up at the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge and the airport. Pre-registration is required. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
The Civil Service Bureau has instructed various government departments to arrange their manpower flexibly and provide facilitating measures on the Legislative Council election day. Secretary for the Civil Service Ingrid Yeung said such measures are aimed at ensuring a smooth election day on the 7th of next month. Some 30,000 civil servants will be stationed at the voting and ballot counting stations on that day, while authorities have been instructed to arrange designated times for their staff to cast their votes. Civil servants who cast their votes during working hours will be given compensatory leave or overtime pay, while transportation costs for voting will be reimbursed. The Independent Commission Against Corruption has arrested 3 people suspected of inciting others not to vote or to cast invalid votes in the LegCo election. The 2 men and 1 woman arrested are aged between 55 and 67. The ICAC said they violated the election ordinance. It reiterated that publicly inciting others not to vote or to cast invalid votes during the election period is a violation of the ordinance, and reposting related content is also illegal. The ICAC strongly condemned attempts to undermine and interfere with the LegCo election. The National Security Office of the Central People's Government in Hong Kong said it firmly supports the Hong Kong SAR in cracking down on any activities that interfere with and disrupt the Legislative Council election. Hong Kong's economy grew 3.8% year-on-year in the 3rd quarter, which is 0.7 percentage points higher than that of the previous quarter. Total goods exports increased by 12%, with growth mostly driven by high demand for electronics. Exports for services expanded by 6.3%, mainly supported by sustained increases in inbound tourism and cross-boundary traffic, as well as cross-boundary financial service activities. Domestically, private consumption expenditure rose further by 2.1%, reflecting the continued recovery of the local consumption market. The government updated its economic forecast for this year from a growth of between 2 and 3% to 3.2%, but stressed uncertainties remain. Welcome back. This year's Hong Kong Winterfest was launched in Central today. Organized by the Hong Kong Tourism Board, the free admission event will last until January. Mosenai reports.
Some people would say the Christmas season starts in November. At Central Statue Square Garden, passers-by can feel a strong sense of festive atmosphere with the Hong Kong Winterfest. This 20-meter Christmas tree, equivalent to a 6-story building, is a highlight of the fest. Some large-scale decorations are placed on the site for picture-taking, such as this wooden aircraft, but the pilot is Santa Claus. At 6:51 p.m., the tree was officially lit up. The dazzling lights alongside festive songs drew crowds under the tree, hoping to capture the best angle of the Christmas symbol with their cameras.
It's really feel like festive, like feel like it's so joyful, like it's gonna be like really have a memorable like time of the year.
Yeah, so I'm actually very excited to see many of the Christmas decorations, but this one is also amazing. Tourists will get attracted to these things only because they also came to take snaps, and that's why people will definitely look forward to.
Actually, we didn't know that Hong Kong started to prepare for Christmas. It's very surprising and amazing. I think Hong Kong people must feel this atmosphere of Christmas, of course.
Visitors can also interact and take pictures with Santa Claus at the fest over the festive period.
Merry Christmas!
Apart from elevating the Christmas atmosphere, the Hong Kong Tourism Board hopes the event can drive the local economy by being located in Central, a landmark district in the city. Starting from November 28th, a Christmas market will be open, offering seasonal food and workshops for visitors. Meanwhile, 8 buildings in a neighboring area, including the Court of Final Appeal and Bank of China Tower, will host an immersive light extravaganza every 30 minutes between 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. until January 4th. The show features festive animation and 3D projections. Moments 9, TVB News.
President Xi Jinping met with visiting Thai King Vajiralongkorn in Beijing earlier today. The president said China is willing to strengthen its strategic partnership with Thailand in various sectors to benefit the people of both nations. President Xi and his wife Peng Liyuan welcomed the Thai monarch outside the Great Hall of the People. It is Vajiralongkorn's first official overseas visit upon his ascension to the throne, with him also being the first Thai monarch to visit China since the two countries established diplomatic ties. Xi said China is willing to push ahead with a joint high-speed railway project between the two nations, increase imports of Thai agricultural products, as well as expanding cooperation in the fields of AI and other new technology. Vajiralongkorn noted Thailand is willing to learn from China's developmental experience and foster better people-to-people ties. The U.S. State Department has approved a new round of arms sales to Taiwan, the first since President Donald Trump returned to the White House. In response, Beijing's Ministry of Foreign Affairs urged Washington to stop sending wrong signals to separatist forces advocating Taiwan independence. The White House announced on Thursday that at the request of Taipei, it will sell Taiwan non-standard components, spare parts, maintenance items, and other logistical support for aircraft, including F-16 fighter jets and the C-130 tactical transport planes. The package is valued at $330 million or about 2.6 billion Hong Kong dollars. Washington said the deal will enhance Taiwan's defensive capabilities, help it respond to current and future crises, and maintain regional political stability, military balance, and economic development. It says that the equipment comes directly from U.S. government stockpiles and will not negatively affect America's own readiness. In response, Beijing notes the Taiwan issue is the core of their core interests and the red line that shall not be crossed between the U.S. and China. With that, Beijing calls on Washington to take concrete actions to safeguard China-U.S. relations and peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. The BBC has issued an official apology to U.S. President Donald Trump over a panorama program aired last year, which contained a misleading edit of a speech. Trump's lawyers had threatened a lawsuit. In a short statement, the BBC repeated the chair's apology, saying it regrets the edit in the documentary, which it will not air again. In a letter, the BBC outlined reasons why they will not pay damages, as the program was not available in America and it did not cause Trump harm because he was re-elected. They said the edit was not made with malice.
They have consulted lawyers and are absolutely confident that they are protected against defamation. That doesn't mean to say for a moment that they don't accept that there was a serious mistake here. We take their independence very seriously, and of course, so this is of course a matter for them to talk to the American administration about, but it's for the role of government to make sure that we support them to get a grip on this at the highest levels.
More than 1,000 unionized Starbucks workers have gone on strike at 65 U.S. stores. Daniel Rao tells us more.
Coffee! No contract! No coffee!
The strike was intended to disrupt Starbucks' Red Cup Day, which is typically one of the company's busiest days of the year. Since 2018, Starbucks has given out free reusable cups on that day to customers who buy a holiday drink. Starbucks Workers United, the union organising baristas, said the strike had already closed some stores and was expected to force more to close later in the day. The union said stores in 45 cities would be impacted, including New York, Philadelphia, San Diego and Starbucks' home city of Seattle. Its organisers said more stores are prepared to join if Starbucks doesn't reach a contract agreement with the union. Starbucks insisted the vast majority of its US stores would be open as usual for now. The coffee giant has 10,000 company-owned stores in the US. That's in addition to 7,000 licensed locations in places like grocery stores and airports. Striking workers say they're protesting because Starbucks has yet to reach a contract agreement with the union. Starbucks workers first voted to unionize at a store in Buffalo in 2021. In December 2023, Starbucks vowed to finalize an agreement by the end of 2024. However, in August of last year, the company ousted Laxman Narasimhan, the CEO who made that promise. The union said progress has stalled under Brian Nickel, the company's current chairman and CEO. The two sides haven't been at the bargaining table since April. Workers say they're seeking better hours and improved staffing in stores.
It's our biggest strike ever. It's an unfair labor practice strike. We're calling for the company to come back to the bargaining table and settle a first contract with us that actually addresses the problems in our stores, understaffing, lack of the hours we need, and lack of the pay we need to actually pay our bills and make ends meet.
The union also says the company has fired baristas in retaliation for unionizing. Starbucks says it offers the best wage and benefit package in retail. Dan Orell, TV News.
And that's the news. Thank you for watching.